Today in class we are looking at ordering fractions. So if you have a look at the question 2a, we've got a half and a quarter, and I want to know which one is the biggest. Well, it's very hard to tell which is the biggest when they are different denominators. So if we make them into the same denominators, we'll be able to see which one is bigger and which one is smaller. So they have said we need to write them in smallest to largest, so ascending order. So if I've got a half and a quarter, what is my lowest common multiple? So lowest, let's just get a pen over here. So 2a, I have got a half and I have got a quarter. First thing I need to do is find my lowest common multiple of 2 and 4. Now hopefully you remember from when we were doing our special numbers and we looked at things called multiples, we know that multiples are in the multiplication table of, or in the times table of. So what is in my 2 times table and in my 4 times table? So if I go 2, 4, 4 is my lowest common multiple. Now, obviously, 1/4 is already over 4, so I just need to look at 1/2. What do I need to do to make it 4? What would I have to times it by to make it equal to 4? So hopefully you've been thinking about that, and basically I need to multiply 2 by 2 to make it 4. But I also need to multiply the numerator by 2, because 2 over 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And if I times anything by 1, it doesn't actually change in value. 5 times 1 is 5, 7 times 1 is 7, 1,000,000 times 1 is 1,000,000. So 1/2 multiplied by 2 over 2, which is 1, is still a half. It just looks slightly different. So a half times 2 over 2 is going to be 2. 1 times 2 is 2, over 2 times 2 is 4, and then I also have a quarter. So if I was going to put those from smallest to biggest, obviously a quarter would come before a half. So it's going to go a quarter and then 2 quarters, not equal to 2 quarters, or a half, whichever way you want to write them. Okay, so I know that a quarter will come before a half in this case. You try B now on your own. Pause the video. So we have looked at 2a, now let's look at 2b. So 2/3 and 3/4. When we're looking at those, we've got 3 and 4 as my denominators. What is my lowest common multiple of 3 and 4? Often the easiest thing to do is go through the lowest times table, so 3, until I find something in my 4 times table as well. So 3 obviously isn't. 6 is not in my 4 times table. 9 is not in my 4 times table. But 12 is in my 4 times table. And it's also the same as when you just multiply 3 and 4. Often, if you run out of ideas, that's a good way to go. It might not be the lowest common multiple, but it definitely will be a multiple of both. So 12 is my lowest common multiple. Now I need to multiply 2/3 and 3/4 to make them both 12. So let's look at 2/3 first of all. What do I need to multiply 3 by to make it 12? We always look at the denominators first. So it needs to multiply by 4, because 4 times 3 is 12. But I always have to multiply it by the same number over itself, so it'll be 4 over 4. And that will give me 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 3 is 12. And then if I look at the next one, what do I need to multiply 4 by? I need to multiply it by 3. And so it's going to be 3 over 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 3/4 is 9 over 12, and 2/3 is 8 over 12. So if I was going to write them in ascending order, I would say 2/3 and then 3/4. 2/3 and then 3/4. So it actually really was in the correct order. So have a go at the rest of number 2, and then 3 is a little bit of a challenge because there are 3 different values there. Give it a go.